Bradford City continue their 2025-26 League One campaign with a home clash against Dave Challoner's Stockport County, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season, what my starting 11 would be for this game if I was Graham Alexander. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, then make sure to like, comment and subscribe. But my team Bradford City, we currently sit 5th in the League One table. After 30 matches we've got 15 wins, 7 draws and 8 defeats, where we've scored 39 goals and also conceded 33. That leaves us on a positive 6 goal difference and 52 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a loss, a win, a loss and a loss. In terms of those last couple of matches then, on Saturday we had a 2-0 win at home to Peterborough United. Absolutely outstanding performance. Caden Jackson scoring his first goal for the football club, and Bobby Poynton finding himself on the score sheet once again. Looking at the stats, it was total domination from Bradford City. I would probably say that was our best performance of the season so far. I know we've had some really good ones at home to Huddersfield and away to Cardiff, but in both of those games the opposition had a sustained period of pressure where they were also creating chances. We were absolutely relentless in this game, and I think the 25 shot difference between the two sides is the biggest that's happened in any of the top 4 English tiers so far this campaign. Absolute domination from Bradford City, 9 big chances created. The only downside is that this game didn't finish in double figures. We were absolutely brilliant, but we need to be much more clinical, especially going forward, because that game could have been perfect to reboosting some of our goal difference that we've lost over the last couple of weeks. Prior to that game then, we had a 2-1 defeat away to Luton Town. No real shame in losing away at Luton. They are a very strong side and they've obviously got some very good players, spent a lot more money than what Bradford City have, and I do think the scoreline probably was a fair result. I do think Luton were the better of the two sides and did deserve to win, probably did slightly edged it. We had some good chances on another day, could have got something out of that one, but I don't think it's really the end of the world losing away at Luton. We also had a 1-0 win at home to Doncaster Rovers. Tyreek Wright scoring his first league goal for Bradford City in nearly 2 years, and the stats would say that it was quite an even game, but it certainly didn't feel like that. I felt like we deserved to win the game by 2 goals. Obviously we have a goal rightfully disallowed, but the reason why it was disallowed, even now, it's still very controversial, but we got the 3 points and that is all that mattered. And we also had a disappointing 1-0 defeat away at Huddersfield Town. Thankfully, the final time that we'll have to talk about this game, we were absolutely dreadful, even though we played against 10 men for over half an hour. A shocking performance, created absolutely nothing, especially in that first half where it was 11 versus 11, and for a derby game it was such a pathetic performance. But thankfully we seem to have put those couple of games behind us. We've seemed to have got back on track to things, but Stockport are no mugs. They're a very good side and it's going to be another very tough game tomorrow. Compared though to at Stockport County, they currently sit 1 place above us in 4th position at this moment in time. After 30 games, they've also got 15 wins, 8 draws and 7 defeats, where they've scored 42 goals and conceded at 35, which leaves them on a positive 7 goal difference and at 53 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a draw, a win, a draw and a win, so very good form for them at this moment in time. Obviously the reverse fixture was like the 3rd game of the season. That was a massive 3 points for Bradford City on that night. Former Stockport man Anthony Sarcevic scoring the winner in the end. I think up until half time, Stockport one of the best teams that I've seen Bradford City play in like the last decade. They absolutely played us off the park, should have been 5-0 up, and we made a formation change at the break. We'll obviously come on to Bradford City's formation for this game later on in today's video, but we made that change at half time and we look much better in the second half. Sam Walker made a 96th, 97th minute absolutely outstanding save as well to secure all 3 points for Bradford City. But recently then, Stockport had a 0-0 draw at home to Leyton Orient. They've obviously not played for quite a while now, have Stockport. Didn't play on Saturday because I think their opponents, maybe Burton off the top of my head, were in the FA Cup. Looking at the stats from this game then, both teams had their fair share of opportunities but couldn't find a way through. They also had a 2-1 win at home to Plymouth Argyle. Over the last couple of months, since really Bradford City went away to Plymouth and won at the beginning of December, Plymouth have been a pretty strong side. This was a good comeback from Stockport. Kyle Wootton with another couple of goals for them. He's probably been their biggest threat going forward so far this campaign. 18 goal contributions contributions in 30 appearances so far this season. Hasn't scored though in his last couple of matches. In terms of the stats then from Stockport's win in this game, it seemed like it was a bit of a smash and grab, just 2 shots on target. Plymouth looking like the better side in this game apart from possession, but goals is all that matters in football. Prior to that one then, they had a 2-1 win away at Blackpool. I think this scoreline certainly did flatter the home side too. Inside 2 minutes for Stockport, and it was total domination really from Dave Challoner's side. They deserved to win this game 3-4-0 at the absolute minimum. They absolutely played Blackpool off of the park, and the scoreline certainly isn't a reflection of their performance. But we've seen a couple of times this season where Stockport, their stats do like this, and they've not quite had the result that does go with it. If we are to beat Stockport tomorrow, we're obviously going to have to play as well as what we did on Saturday, but they're also going to need to have a bit of an off day, because again, they've spent a lot more money than what Bradford City have. Even as recently in January as well, they were spending big money, and you know it's going to take a bit of an off day from them if we are to get the 3 points. They also had a 1-1 draw away at Cardiff City. Not many teams have gone away to Cardiff and picked up any type of point so far this campaign. We obviously got 3 points back in September. Stockport have got a point in this game, and it did seem like a real good performance really from both sides. Either side could have edged it. Stockport created slightly more XG, but Cardiff better in pretty much every other statistic. But any time that you are avoiding defeat away at Cardiff, I do think that is a positive result for any side in this division. And they also had a 3-2 win at home to Rotherham United. This own goal here from Joe Oliver, if you've not seen it, I encourage you to go and do it, and I'll say no further on the matter. Probably the most bizarre own goal that I have ever seen. But even though there was 3 own goals in this game, I thought this one actually got credited to Josh Stokes, but it seemed like a pretty crazy one. Stockport still managed to get over the line and get through in a game where they definitely did deserve to win. I was surprised, to be fair, by considering Rotherham's standards so far this season. They actually did create a little bit in this one, but again, Stockport's quality did shine through in the end, and that was another good 3 points for the home side. Before we do go any further though with today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 140 likes on today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match. What would your starting 11 be as well for this one? Obviously, there is going to need to be at least one change coming into this one, given that Max Power is now going to miss the next 2 games with that 10 yellow card suspension. So let me know your team down below. Now, coming into this one, it was incredibly tough for me to pick the team, because I've got one eye on how outstanding Bradford City were on Saturday, but I've also then got one eye on how good of a team that Stockport are, and for that reason I would slightly tweak the formation and go to the 3-4-1-2. Obviously, pretty much every game so far this campaign, especially at home, Bradford City have played the 3-4-3. We saw though in the reverse fixture when we were 3-4-3, they were either 4-2-3-1 or 3-4-3. I think they were 3-4-3 to be honest, where they completely played us off the park in that first half because they had an extra man in midfield. And if they're going to play Norwood or Bate, or God forbid they play both of them, we could be in a lot of trouble if we give them type of players an extra man in midfield. So I'd match them up with 3 midfielders, especially when you're missing your captain in Max Power, which is going to be a massive blow for Bradford City. But I think it does make sense to go to the 3-4-1-2. It does mean you have to drop one of the attacking players who played exceptional on Saturday. But in terms of my team then, in goal I would go with Sam Walker. Had very little to do against Peterborough, in all honesty. Had 1 save in the second half, which he seemed to struggle with a little bit. I know it kind of bounced in front of him, but he parried it right into the big striker for Peterborough. They brought on off the bench, and in the end it was a great block from Tyrick Wright, which denied them a certain goal. But apart from that, Walker had nothing to do. Another clean sheet for his tally as well, and obviously in the reverse fixture did make probably the best save that we have seen in a Bradford City game so far this campaign, in the 97th minute to deny Benoy Anderson, I think his name is, which he definitely should have scored it. It wasn't the best header in the world, but still a great save from Sam Walker. In terms of my back 3 then, again, very difficult to pick because they've got one of the best forwards in the division in Kyle Wotton, a very big physical striker, but I also want to reward players who are playing well for Bradford City. So at right centre-back, I would go with Aidan Baldwin. Arguably his best performance in a Bradford City shirt on Saturday. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Didn't put a foot wrong. Not only his diagonals, obviously plays right centre-back in the first half, goes into centre of the back 3 as well for the majority of the second half, and Ibu Toure did go off with injury, but I thought he was absolute colossal at the back. Absolutely fantastic, and again, must be starting in this one. In the middle of my back three, I would go with Curtis Till. Again, absolutely very good. Absolutely very good. Is that the correct terminology? But a very good performance from him, and he's going to be integral if we are to stop Kyle Wootton. Not many centre-backs in this division can deal with Wootton, but I thought Till did a decent job against him in the reverse fixture, and he is obviously our most aggressive, most physical centre-half, and if you want anybody to be in a tussle with an opposition striker, Curtis Till certainly is that man. And completing my back three then, at left centre-back, I would go with Ibu Toure. Obviously went off after about 45 seconds into the second half. Alexander said in his post-match that it was a back spasm, but Toure should be fine for this game against Stockport. If he's not, then I think you have to play Kieran Kelly. I think I would then go a bit more physical and try and really deal with that threat of Kyle Wootton. But again, if the likes of Josh Stokes or Jack Diamond are to play it, and Toure is the perfect man to deal with them in a 1v1 battle. It's really hard to pick your team because you played so well on Saturday, but you've also got to be very respectful to the opposition, and obviously Toure has, I think, played, or he's certainly the only player in the Bradford City squad to have started every league match, outfield player that is, so far this campaign, and I'm pretty sure he has played the most minutes. In terms of my midfield four then, at right wing back, I would go with Josh Nerfill. Back to his best again on Saturday, absolutely outstanding, beat Kyle Johnston to absolutely everything in that game. Fantastic performance, delighted for him to get another assist, up to 5 assists for the season now, our second most goal contribution player so far this campaign in the league anyway. You've got Poynton on third actually. You got Sarcevic on 10, Poynton on 9, and then Nerfill now on 8 goal contributions. But last 2 home games, he has been absolutely outstanding, and hopefully he can keep it up again in this one. In terms of my 2 central midfielders, obviously no max power for this game. So firstly, I would go with Lee Evans. I think in the minutes that we've seen of him so far, in his couple of substitute cameos, he has looked pretty solid, and obviously we've signed him for this exact reason. We knew Power at some point was going to get that next yellow card, which was going to trigger a 2-game ban, and Lee Evans hopefully can come and slot in. He's played a lot of football so far this season for Blackpool, so hopefully we'll be fit enough to get through the entire game. Maybe Saturday might be another question, or hopefully we're 5-0 up after 60 minutes and we can bring him off and rest him, but I do think that is very unlikely. But Lee Evans, I like what I've seen from him so far, and obviously he has been brought in to do this exact job. Partnering him in there, I would go with Jensen Metcalfe. There is a real argument to make that he is the best central midfielder in the division at this moment in time. He just seems to get better and better. Again, absolutely outstanding on Saturday. He recovered the ball 18 times on Saturday. Some teams amongst the entire squad for a full 90 minutes haven't even done that in certain games so far this campaign. Jensen Metcalfe was absolutely everywhere. He just seems to be getting better and better. Has to be taking all the set pieces as well now for me. That free kick which just hit the post. Absolutely brilliant player. Joy to watch. Has a goal in him. Obviously was subbed off at half time in the reverse fixture. Wasn't quite working for him, but he is 10 times the player that he was back in that day, and obviously he's going to be coming up against some of the best midfielders in the division, in the likes of Ollie Norwood, who for me probably is the best, the likes of Lewis Bay as well. So real test for Jensen Metcalfe. And completing my midfield four then, at left wing back, I would go with Tariq Wright, who I thought again had another pretty decent game on Saturday against Peterborough, provided a real threat down at that left hand side, and obviously they've got Dacres Cogley suspended for this game, so whoever does come in for him at right back, Tariq Wright needs to use that attacking ability, try and take players on, get balls into the box, link up with the players that are also playing in that sort of area, and I think again it was another pretty solid performance from him. In terms of my attacking midfielder, I would go with my captain for this game, and that is Anthony Sarcevic. It was a real toss-up to make because I think Poynton played better than Sarcevic on Saturday, and obviously Bobby gets the first goal. He's our top goal scorer in the division so far this season, but the facts are the facts, and Bradford City's win percentage with and without Sarcevic is clear for all to see. I think it's like 55% with him and like 30% without him. Obviously former Stockport man, scored the winner in the reverse fixture, came off after I think about 70 minutes or so on Saturday, so hopefully he's well rested for this game, and even though it wasn't his best performance, he certainly had a positive impact on the game. Was maybe unlucky not to get a goal with that lob in the first half over Alex Bass, which did go just wide, but Sars, he's just our most important player, so he absolutely has to start this game. In terms of my two strikers then, firstly I would go with Caden Jackson, who for me was absolutely brilliant on Saturday, bullied bullied that Peterborough defence. He's just got a bit of everything about him. He can come short and link the play up, he can go over the top and really stretch the defence, he can win a header, scores his first goal by doing just that. His finishing in terms of when the ball's at his feet isn't the best. He did have a couple of opportunities, but we saw with a few dummies that he made and players bursted into the box, it allowed them to have a free shot at goal, and Peterborough got a little bit lucky at times with some of their blocks, but hopefully we can maybe get the right rub of the green from that point of view if we do get some similar chances in this one against Stockport. But Jackson was outstanding, and again, if you do want to play the 3-4-3, I think you can play Sarcevic and Jackson in behind my striker for this game, who in terms of my formation would actually be partnering Jackson up top, and that would be Ethan Wheatley. I think in both substitute cameos that I've seen from Wheatley, he looks a very, very good player. It's just a shame that two gilt-edged opportunities that he's got in both of the games have come when he's probably very cold. You know, he's only been on the pitch for about 30 seconds and he's getting these really good opportunities. The first one away at Luton last week, he should have scored, and obviously it was a very poor finish, it was going wide. This one that we've seen on Saturday just go by against Peterborough, I don't really think there's much more that he can do. It's just a good save from Alex Bass, who throughout the game made a number of very good saves. But I'd like to see a front two of Wheatley and Jackson to really stick it on their centre halves, who are very good ball players, but I'm not sure the likes of Brad Hills and Ethan Pye really want to be in a physical battle, and I do think the likes of Caden Jackson and Ethan Wheatley could certainly cause them some problems. But again, we've got good options. We've got Stephen Humphreys, we've got Paul Mullin, we've still got Will Swan to come back from injury as well. We've got some real firepower now at the top end of the pitch. On the bench then for me, that would leave Joe Hilton, Harrison Ashby, Matt Pennington, Joe Wright, Bobby Poynton, Stephen Humphreys and also Paul Mullin. So no natural central midfielders on the bench, which is a little bit of a concern, but we know that Sars can play a bit deeper, and then you can probably put Poynton in the 10 if you really need to. In terms of players currently unavailable, obviously Max Power, who's going to miss this one against Stockport and Saturday against Wimbledon through suspension. Also unavailable is former Stockport man Nick Powell, who's played about 90 minutes for Bradford City this season, has been injured for the rest of that. And also unavailable is Will Swan, who should maybe be back for, I don't know, maybe Reading, hopefully, no later than that. So the players who miss out then through selection would be Kieran Kelly, George Lapsley, Joe White and also Louis Sibley. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, can we try and hit 140 likes as I said at the start of today's video, and don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Firstly, let me know down below your starting 11 for this game. What changes would you make from Saturday's win over Peterborough United, and also let me know down below your score prediction. I don't think a draw here would be the end of the world. Obviously, in the couple of League 2 battles we had with Stockport over the years, I don't think we've beaten them at home. They're unbeaten in their last few games as well, so it's going to be a very tough one. I don't think a draw would be the end of the world, but let me know all your thoughts down below. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one.